Right, so I was in London and I arrived at 6 o'clock in the evening and I was on a mission because when an old woman heard that I was going to London, she kind of went all kind of mystical in the eyes and she goes, shops, will there be shops? And you'd swear there was no shops in Dublin. And I'm tired of explaining the internet to her because anytime I say, I can look for that online for you, she goes, but where is it? Where is the internet? Like she thinks it's some sort of big warehouse just beyond the M50 where they keep wide-fitting shoes and heated rollers and Tom Ford nail varnishes and I'm weary from telling her what it actually is. Anyway, so she says, I need my Tom Ford nail varnish. It's my signature shade. And I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I've ruined her because I gave her that like a couple of years ago and now she has notions. Anyway, so she wanted the Tom Ford Vapor nail varnish and so I said I'd go because it's pathetic. I'm nearly 53 and I'm still the person who wants her mother's approval and clearly it never goes because I'm old, do you know, and I still, like I was really glad she'd asked me because I was like, oh good, I'll find Mum's nail varnish and then she'll be happy with me and she'll say, good girl Marian. And that's being honest. So I arrived in central London at 6 o'clock and I went herring off, walking briskly in an easterly direction, and I was heading for Phoenix because I love Phoenix because Phoenix is a lovely size and also the sales ladies are kindly and the customers are kind of other women my age. They're not scary young things, do you know? So but first I had to go through Leicester Square and I really wished I had my Egypt stick. I mean, I was so narky and kept having to stop short behind goms who were enthralled by Egypts spinning on their back on a bit of cardboard. And I felt like saying, look at, in your own town, would you stop and look at some gom dancing around a bin? And so, yes, I was, but then I managed to kind of be spat free of Leicester Square and continued up Regent Street and then over to Phoenix. And when I arrived into Phoenix, there was something going on. There was all kind of types and ladies and there were ladies standing at a door with a kind of a checklisty thing. So I thought they'd take one look at me and go, oi, you, hop it. But they didn't. They said, you can come in too. No, you're all right, come in, don't be scared, come in. And so I think they were celebrating the 125th anniversary of Phoenix, which is nice, you know. And so there were people going around with trays of tipples. Now that's not my word, that's their word, because I would never say the word tipples because it's just so 1970s. It's like, imagine if somebody invited you over for tipples and nibbles. Like, you'd have to leave the country. So there were trays of tipples, which I think might have been Prosecco, but I couldn't have that. But then there were trays of kind of funny, how do you call them things? Smoothies, but they had things added. Like there was a lady going around with a tray of smoothies and I tried to go for it and she goes, oh no, she said, that's only for the men's. That had special men's things in it. But then a pink one came along and I was allowed to have that. Anyway, so I discovered they didn't have any Tom Ford in Phoenix, but still I hung around and I found out something lovely. The new Charlotte Tilbury mascara was out that day in Phoenix. Hold on now. Legendary Lashes. Hang on, I'm wearing it now. Do you see? See, very long lashes. And they had 10% off even though it was new. So I bought it. I would have bought it anyway because I'm that way, you know. But they'd no Tom Ford. So I thanked them for the tipples and the nibbles and the smoothies and the 10% off. And I veered, continuing west, up to Selfridges. And I love Selfridges in a different way because especially Selfridges in Oxford Street. You're just so aware that like London is such an international city. They're all there. The Russians, the Arabs, the English, the Irish, you know. Very nice. And so I go to the Tom Ford acre because everything's huge in Selfridges. You know, you think you've found the counter and then there's like 16 other counters all attached to it moving back into the distance. Anyway, I made the shocking realisation that the Vapor nail varnish is discontinued and it was awful. Do you know, because I thought Mammy will be cross. Seriously, I'm just telling you, just, you know, 53 never goes away. And so I went to every other feckin' nail varnish counter in the whole of the, and like the cosmetics hall in Selfridges is like a small country. Not even that small. It's like, I don't know, like Belgium. You know, it's quite big. And I went to the mall. I went to Ilamasca, because the older woman had shown interest in Ilamasca a couple of years ago. I went to Dior, Chanel, all of them. And Vapor is kind of a whitey colour, but the only other white nail varnishes they had looked like Tipex, and she's not looking for Tipex, she's looking for pearlescent finish. Anyway, so I didn't get it, and I haven't broken the news to her yet, and I'm sort of afraid to, because she won't say anything, she'll just go quiet, and then I'll get the dread, you know? Yes, it's pathetic. Yes, I'm 53. Sure, look it. Anyway, that's kind of all my news. Then I did my work on Friday. Then I was delayed for about 27 hours in the city airport. And it's not a place to be delayed in, because everyone was delayed and there was nowhere to sit. It was like being at a concert or a festival. Do you know that sort of way when you're dying to go to the loo, but you can't get there because there's so many people coming towards you that you can't get down the little narrow corridor. So then I came back and, and then I went to a table quiz last night and, you know, wasn't expecting to win because we had been there about 10 years ago. Was it about 10 years ago? It was about 10 years ago. He doesn't like to speak. He's smiling. It was 10 years ago, wasn't it? It was. And the questions were really hard, but I think we came about half, which is nice. We didn't make a complete show of ourselves. And that's always lovely. It's lovely to not make a complete show of yourselves. So there we are. Books, right. Nina Stibbe's beautiful book, Paradise Lodge, is out today. Congratulations, Nina. You will love it. It's the most beautiful, gorgeous, uplifting, sweet, funny, wise, well-written, lovely hug of a book. Coming of age story, set in the 70s, about a 15-year-old girl. I couldn't recommend it more highly. I loved it. Have a good week. I'll be back soon. Next week. That's soon. Bye.